So now we come to a multi-step problem, and the reason why it's considered a multi-step problem is because there's more than one conversion you're going to have to do. So we're going to use 2 unit fractions to solve this question. So the order that's been given to you is the doctor has prescribed 0.5 milligrams orally twice a day of Ticacin, and the question is asking how many capsules should be administered and to calculate it in micrograms. So the first thing that we should notice here is that there are 2 different concentrations given to you on our label. We have 125 micrograms, but that's also equivalent to 0.125 milligrams. Okay. Now for a testing purpose, chances are you would not be given both because we want to see that you can do the calculation. So let's make sure that we can actually do the calculation in order to solve the question. So the first thing that I like to do is called taking inventory. And we've discussed this in class. And essentially what that means is from the question given to you, pull out as much information as you have. So the given order that we have is 0.5 milligrams. So we know that's where we want to go. We have also the strength of the tablet as well. And that is going to be equal, 1 tablet is equal to 125 micrograms. Okay? And what we're trying to find is how many tablets, how many capsules does it take of 125 micrograms to complete our order given to from the doctor of 0.5 milligrams. So this is all the information we have, and we're going to use this to solve the problem. So the first thing that we need to do is get our order of 0.5 milligrams into its microgram conversion. So we need to remember our metric system unit chapter that we have tested you on previously. So hopefully you remember that 1,000 micrograms is equal to 1 milligram. And we're going to use this. This is our first unit fraction that I've been talking to you about in class. So to set up our unit conversion, we have to make sure that our unit fraction is actually going to, the denominator will be correct and the numerator will be correct. And the quick understanding to this is, the quick way to determine this is to understand which units you want to cancel out. Ultimately, because we want to convert our 0.5 milligrams into micrograms, the milligram should be canceling out. So we should get 0.5 milligrams multiplied by 1,000 micrograms over 1 milligram. And before we even do the math here, we should just do a quick check to see if the milligrams are canceling out and we're left with the micrograms. And if we look, yes, we have a milligram on our numerator at the top here, but we also have a milligram in the denominator aspect down here, and those will cancel out. So yes, once we do our calculation, the milligrams will cancel out. So go ahead and do the calculation right now. So I've gone ahead and I've done the calculation, so hopefully you also ended up with an answer of 500 micrograms. So that's the first step to completing this question. So now the question is, the second question we have to answer is, well, how many capsules do we need? And so this is where we've seen questions like this before, because now we're going to use our second unit fraction. And the question, we revert back to the question for that information, particularly the label of the drug that has been prescribed, Ticacin. On the label itself, recall that it says 1 tablet, or 1 capsule, I should say, is equal to 125 micrograms. So now this is going to become our second unit fraction to help us solve how many tablets we need to administer. So we're going to use that first answer we determined of converting our 0.5 milligrams. That was the order given by the doctor, but we've converted that to its equivalent in micrograms, and we determined that that was 500 micrograms. So we're still going to use that in our answer to get to our tablet, the number of tablets. That's where we're at now. So in the previous slide shown to you, it was shown that the one tablet is equal to 125 micrograms, and that is our second unit fraction. So to solve the question, we're going to blend these two together, these two knowns. So to set up our unit fraction, again, remember, before you even do the calculation, ask yourself, are the units canceling out that you need to cancel out with? Okay, so we have 500. Okay, so we have 500 micrograms, and we're going to multiply that by one tablet over 125 micrograms. That is that unit fraction I was just talking to you about. Now again, before even going ahead with the calculation, let's make sure that the units, the microgram units, will cancel each other out, because we're now just interested in understanding our microgram equivalent to the number of tablets. That's what the question was asking us originally, and that's where we're now at. So yes, if we look, we've got a microgram in our numerator category here, but we also have a microgram category at the bottom down below. So in our denominator, so those two do cancel each other out. So when we go ahead and we do the math, 500 times one tablet will give you 500 tablets, but we're going to divide that by 125. And when we divide 500 by 125, we actually get our answer of 4 tablets. And that does answer the question to our mathematical understanding. But for nursing, again, we have to go back to the actual question to make sure we are completing the answers completely. So if we look and recall back to the question or the orders given to you, the doctor prescribed 0.5 milligrams of Ticacin orally BID. And from our medical abbreviations that we're starting to learn, you should know PO means orally and BID means twice a day. So, which this means the answer is partially complete, because if we were to give you this question on a test, you would need to tell us it is 4 times a day, or 4 times twice a day. And that is an example of a multi-step problem that you could potentially see on test 2. So I hope this has helped. If you have any concerns and problems, please let me know. Email me, come talk to me in the office, and I'm sure we can work something out to make sure you're confident for your next test. Thank you so much. Bye.